Hi, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's really nice to have you guys here. In today's video, we are going to be creating our own chatbot using the ChatGPT API, meaning that our chatbot will be as smart as ChatGPT, and we are going to design everything from end to end, write the code, very simple code, and we'll be able to chat with our chatbot. So before we go into the details of the architecture, let's just go through what we've been learning so far in this course modules, right? So today we are in lesson 7. So if you have not watched the previous videos to kind of explain the basics of LLMs, ChatGPT, prompt engineering, please go and watch it, because today we are doing coding and implementation. So back to the architecture. Before we go into the code, let's actually know what we are doing, right? So the first thing that we need is the data that we want to use to train our chatbots. Okay, so data. So like you remember in the last video, like last lesson, I told you guys about transfer learning. Okay, so we have ChatGPT already, but we want to teach ChatGPT some other things like personal stuff about us, right? So the personal information about us, maybe information about yourself, or maybe if you have a company and you don't want to chat with the open ChatGPT, because if you chat with the open ChatGPT on the internet, the ChatGPT will have your data, right? So but if you don't want it to have your data, then that's when we do transfer learning. So the data that we use to train our ChatGPT is private, okay, but we need to get the data, then save the data as PDF. Okay, so hopefully you guys know how to create file from Windows, then you save it as PDF. Okay, so that's the data that we need to train our AI. So if you don't have the data, just create like small data about yourself, your name, where you're from, what you like, and all of that in Microsoft Word. Then you save it as PDF. Okay, so then in our code, we're going to break the that PDF into chunks. Okay, so we will all see how that works. So we will break it into chunks, do our embeddings. If you remember embeddings, so if you don't know what embeddings are, please go and watch the previous videos. Then we'll put our findings in the database, then we'll be able to chat with what we have. Okay, so that's just the whole of everything. So what we need to be able to write this code, okay, so we need IDE called Visual Studio Code. That's what I'm using. You can use any IDE, but I think this one is what you should use. Okay, so if you don't have Visual Studio Code installed, so maybe this is the first time that you are watching my video and you don't have it installed, I will put a link up here. It will show up here right now. That will take you to the video that I made on how to install Visual Studio Code, and I will also put the link in the description below. Right, so again, you can get like any video online or instruction on how to install this. Then we need Python to be installed. Okay, so to install Python, I will also leave a video up here that you can use from my previous videos to install Python. Then the libraries that we'll need, I'll show you guys how to get the libraries. Okay, so then for us to use the API, Open API library, so we need API key. Okay, so that means you need account with OpenAI, right? Then in your account, they will give you API key. So if you are one of my students and you don't have OpenAI account, right, because kid cannot open it, right, you can either ask your parents, or you can temporarily use my API key. Just let me know, I will give you my API key. Okay, so the step that we are going to do before we start writing the code, again, just to reiterate, so we get data that you want to use to train our chatbots, the PDF. Okay, it could be information about yourself, or it could be information about your family then that you want to chat with your chatbot to get information about it. Okay, so that's for that. Then our code will read the PDF, and break the PDF into chunks. Then we generate the embeddings. Then we create vector stores. That's our database. Then we use it to train our API model. Okay, So that's what we need to do, and let's get right into the code. Okay, so I assume that you've installed Visual Studio Code and you open it, and this is what you see. Then we can also open our terminal down here where we used to run our code. Okay, and remember, if you are on Windows, you need to change this to Bash, right? So you just, I think you click on this. Wait, you can click on this, then you change it to Bash. So Bash should be what you select in here. Okay, so let me save this file. Let me just put it in my document and call it chatbot. So chatbot.py, right? So that's what we want to do. Okay, so if you remember, I said we need to install some libraries. So let's install those libraries before we start writing any code. So the first one that we need to install, let me put it in here. I'll put it in the, so type pip install Streamlit. Okay, that's the first one. Then space PyPDF2, then LangChain, then fire CPU. So the Streamlit is the one that will develop like a website for us. Then this one is for reading the PDF. Then this one is used internally by ChatGPT, and this one too. So I've installed this already, so I won't install it. So it took me like 2 minutes to install this. Okay, so when you are done installing that, then I think I have to install some other things, which ideally I shouldn't need to install them, but I did install them. So just install them for us to have the same result. So pip install, then dash capital U, then LangChain community. Okay, again, I've installed that. So then I did this one too, pip install OpenAI. I don't know if this is needed or not, but I installed it, so please install this one too. So just click on enter. It will take maybe like 2 minutes or so. Then I also, let me see the one that I also installed. Okay, I installed this one too. I should probably put it in a comment in the code, but I already started. So I did this one too, and I think I did another one, the last one. Okay, yeah, this is the last one. Okay, so the last one that I installed. So assuming that you installed everything, so now let's start writing the code. Let me see if this is big enough for you guys to see. Hopefully you guys can see it. So the first thing that we need to do, so the Streamlit that we installed, we need to import it. So we say import Streamlit as st. You know what, just to save time, what I will do is copy everything that I import, that I use. Okay, so just import all of this. So these are everything that I use in the code. Okay, so just do that. Then we need our OpenAI key, right? So OpenAI, so just define a variable OpenAI key. Just do this. So we are still going to get the OpenAI key. Okay, so but just leave it right now. You know what, let me just show you guys how to get the OpenAI key. If you have your, so go to platform.openai.com/docs/overview. That is if you have OpenAI account, right? Then you go to settings in here, then you go to API keys, then you create API key. When you create it, it will give you a secret key. That secret key, you copy it and you put it in here. Okay, yeah, like I will not put mine here now, right, because I don't need it now, but you can put yours, yeah, because it's a secret key. I might not show it, but yeah, So that's the first thing that we need to do. Okay, so now we want to create like a UI for our chatbot. Okay, so this is how to do it. So the name of the chatbot is going to be Ayomide. Well, like that's my name. Then you can put your name in here. Then you say, so like this st, you can see is the streamlit that we use to create the UI. Then you say with space st sidebar, put a colon. Then when you press enter, make sure that it's lined up like this, or it could be at the back, but make sure that you press enter from here. Okay, because when you press enter, it might take you to the back here or anything, but just make sure that your tabs are lined up. Then you put the title. Then you can put, so like this one is when you ask people to upload the file that they want to use to train the chatbot, right? So you can just say upload a file and start asking questions. Then the type of the file is PDF. Okay, so just this small code actually can give us something to see. Okay, so let's run this code like this. So we're going to type something in our, but wait, I will have to go inside where my file is saved, right? I think mine was saved in my document. Okay, make sure that your terminal is inside where your document is saved, right? I should have shown you guys, but if you have any question about that, just let me know. So wherever you save your chatbot.py is where your terminal should be. So you can see that I was in my root, then I said change directory to document. So document is where I saved mine. Okay, hopefully that is straightforward enough. Then to run it, you do streamlit. Yeah, it's even right there, run chatbot. Okay, so then I click on enter, then it's running. So you see, with just this simple code, I was able to do all of this. So I call it Ayomide chatbot and everything. Of course, nothing is working yet, but you can see the result in here. So then we're going to continue. So you go a new line, but make sure that you come back to this straight line. Okay, so we're going to define a variable called text. And that text will be nothing for now. So the text will be what people will type in here. Okay, so then after that, we're going to okay, so let me see, let me copy some code in here. Okay, so this code, so let me remove this comment. We're gonna just to show you guys. So what this code is saying, so if file is not none, so that means if someone upload file, then you do this. So this one says read the file, and for each page in that file, add that page to this text and you write it out. That's just what this is doing. So we can test this out now. So you can just save it and then you can rerun this. Okay, after you rerun it, and then if I add any PDF, it should show the content of that. You see, it shows the content of that PDF. This is the PDF that I wrote about myself, just random stuff that I want to use to train my AI. So you can see it's read the PDF, put it in a text and write it out. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, so now let's continue. So but for now we don't want it to be writing it out, so you can just comment this out. Okay, so that's good. So now come to new line, make sure that you are under this for loop. Okay, So we are going to also do something. Let me see. So you remember that we have to break those. I have to be very careful on that here. Remember that we have to break the PDF content into chunks. So that's what we want to do in here. So why do we want to break it into chunks? For better understanding of each section. So we have a variable, then we call this that we imported up here to split our PDF, right, which we read into this text file. So now let's see what it's going to be like, you know, when we run it, when they break the stuff into chunks. So again, we'll run this one. You can see it broke it into chunks. So let me upload a better file. So like this one was one that I created for like example of car dealer. You see, it broke it into chunks. This one 0 and this one 1, right? So that's the chunk that this was broken into. Okay, so let's comment this one out and let's continue. So the next thing is to create our embeddings. Okay, so let's come in here. We'll do this. Okay, so we'll create the OpenAI embeddings. Then this is where you will need your keys. If you don't have your key and I run this, it's gonna give me error that I need OpenAI key. So I will put my key in here, but I won't show it. Okay, but if you are one of my students, you know, you can ask me for the key, I will show you. But if you're just watching on online, you have to come and get your own API key in here. Okay, so I'll pause the video to put the key. Okay, so the error is gone now. Okay, so now I was able to generate my embeddings, right? But right now I still cannot stay it. So the next thing is to create vectors from those embeddings. Then remember that all of this must be on the straight line. They must be inside this if statement, right? Because if we don't have any file, then there's no point doing anything. So the next thing we'll create a store from the chunks that we created from here. Then we'll put it in our embeddings, right? So again, when you run this, nothing will happen because we are not showing anything yet. So now the next thing that we want to do is to have a text where people will put their question in. So this is comment get user question. So just create a variable called user question, then st text input. Then you can put something in here. You can put anything. You can say type any question that you have, or type any question that you want to ask my ChatGPT or something like that. But when you save it, come and see how it's gonna show. So you see, people can chat anything, input anything in here. So that's what that is for. So we are almost done actually. So let's see. Now we are going to do a similarity search rather on your question. So the question that someone asks, so I'll first of all say if user question, meaning that if someone asks us user question, then do a similarity search. You know, so the vector store that we got from here, from our embeddings, search a similarity score on it. Then so we don't need to write it again. Okay, you know what, let's just write it. So let's just show what that is going to look like. So let's see, let's run this. Let's say I just say, you know, or that's a car dealer document. Let's say I want to buy a car, and I press enter, and it's thinking about it, right? So this is the similarity a match, right? So like it got a match. So like this question, so like these are the matches. We have a state-of-the-art service, blah blah blah. So that means this matches these two, right? Then we'll probably now know which one to use between the two. Okay, so let's now, so when we are done with the similarity search, then we'll now call our ChatGPT API to train it, right? So with our data. Okay, so the ChatGPT API requires our key, requires temperature. So the temperature is how you want ChatGPT to be random, right? So if you put 0, it will not be random. If you put 2 or 3, it will be random, and all of that. Then the name of the model is ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo, right? There are different models out there, but this is the one that I'm using. Okay, so now let's output the result. So let me show you guys what this looks like. So now we are not going to say QA chain. So this is our LLM that we created, and the chain type is stuff. You don't need to worry yourself about that. Then we now run the chain, right, with our input. Like our input document is the match in here, right? Then the question is the user question, right? So we pass in the user question, then we also pass in the match between the user question and our vector store. And vector store is our document, right? Because we read the document line by line, then we store everything in the vector store. Then we now write the response in our window, and let's save that. So I think that is all actually. So with that, let's say like the document that I have is the car dealer document. I just created this from scratch. So let's say I had a question, how do I buy cars from you? So now it's going to do all of these things, right? And then it will give me, so you can purchase car from us by browsing the inventory online, blah blah blah. I use that. The information from here is used to train the model, and the model was able to write all of this. So like these texts are not directly from my document, right? But ChatGPT, like, so my chatbot is smart enough to just take information from here and use it to answer all these questions. Okay, so let's say, how much do I need to pay for a car? Or let's say, what method of payment do you accept, right? Then again, it's going to do all of these things and it's going to give me answer. Oh, so it say I don't know because we did not like this document does not have anything about payment method. So let me say, can I take car loan? Let's see that. I think yes, say you can take car loan, blah blah blah. So let me put another document about me. Okay, so let's just say, what do you know about me? Yeah, then it's gonna see it gave like a summary of what it knows about me, reading this PDF about me, right? So we see that we were able to train our chatbot using some document, right? And we were able to get the result in here. And this is very nice user interface, so you can generate any kind of PDF, then you use that PDF to train this, and you ask specific question based on what is in the PDF. And it's not that like the chatbot will go and copy what you have in here. No, it will use the information that you have in here to generate new content, right? That, well, like, put some words together that kind of makes sense. Okay, so I think that is all I actually have for that, and we've been able to achieve all of these steps, right? Train our ChatGPT model and probably testing it, right? Test. So so in the next video we're going to be looking at AI ethics, right? So that means what to do and what not to do with, so what are ethics that you should consider. So like, one of them is, don't use people's private data to train your LLM, right? So just imagine that this information about you is online, then someone just go and just steal it and use it to train the public ChatGPT. So, and the public ChatGPT will now have access to your information. So like, you don't want to do that. Okay, so but anyways, if you don't want to miss that lecture, please subscribe to my channel and like my video, and please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know if there's any improvement that you think that I should put in the video, and I will see you guys in the next class. Bye.